All right, everybody, welcome back. I know we were just live on another event, but super excited today to have my good friend. I wish I could say it with a little Spanish accent, Ricardo Rosales. I know I need to roll that R with my tongue, right?
That's good enough, David.
Good enough. Don't do it. Don't embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
Guys, today, here's what we're going to do 20 minutes, no more, no less. We are going to talk about the top 3 reasons why you should be going out and attending masterminds. And Ricardo's one of the greatest in the country, does a lot of promotions, and we actually met at a mastermind. So, Ricardo, let's jump right into it. Number one, what's the number one reason why you should be at a mastermind?
You become the average of the people you hang out with, David.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah, you're right, man.
I mean, that's how you and I got together, right? Like that's how we met. And we connected at the Hustlers Mastermind, which you paid to go, I paid to go.
Yep.
And the good thing is, David, when you get a higher level of quality of people that are paying a higher fee, you tend to like network with, eagles is what I call it, right?
Sure.
So there we are going in as little parrots and then turning into eagles, right? So
yeah, man, that mastermind had a lot of people. It was you, me, Nick Perry, Charles Hernandez, Corey Geary, Chris Jefferson, Quentin Flores. There's just a ton of just absolute rock stars. The guy that runs our
Donovan Ruffing.
yeah, dude. Yeah, he said some stuff that absolutely changed all of our businesses. Yeah, dude. I think it's amazing. A lot of people are like, I don't want to pay to go to an event, but there's a reason why people pay Tony Robbins $100,000 because you get results.
Now it's like 250.
Is it really?
Yeah, it has gone up drastically, right? And now the question is, right? So if I have the chance to network with a millionaire like that because you have to be a millionaire, pay 100 grand or 250, to join one of those, right? What are the chances of me succeeding in my business by associating myself with people that are playing at a higher level, right?
Yeah, and I think to go back to where you started at the very beginning, you're the sum of the people that you surround yourself with. Certainly, the top 4 or 5 is you get around those people, and your belief system really changes, right? Because now it's, oh well, Ricardo did that. Well, if this is a doable thing, these people are doing it. Certainly, I can do that because you're just the other 4 people in your circle are all doing those things.
David, you are the best example to that because you were sitting right next to me at the mastermind when somebody, I'm not going to mention any names, was presenting about a transactional coordinating opportunity within a wholesale deal, right?
Yeah.
And you looked at it and you said, wait a minute. I could start a business just for that. And I looked at you and I said, you must be out of your mind, David. That's a lot of headaches. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I had already collected transactional coordinating fees on my agreements. I just never thought, wait a minute, let me go do a business on this, right?
Yeah.
And guess what we have today? Easy REI Closings, the largest transactional coordinating company in the country.
Yeah.
Go figure, right? It all started at a mastermind.
Yeah, it's wild where, I never dreamed ever when I was selling doors and windows that I would
and I was just
be a wholesaler.
Your first naysayer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you, don't
Corey
do it. You're crazy, like punching holes in the system. But you were stubborn enough to say, "Oh, hold on a second, Ricardo. Maybe I can do this and do it good, right?" And you did it, bro. You're the if I'm a transactional coordinating guy, Easy REI is the company that I'm like, I want to be like those guys, right?
Thank you. That's very kind. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. The point is, when you're at these events, you get surrounded by people that are doing really cool stuff. And one, it's inspirational and aspirational, right? Like you should never look at the person who's on stage and go, oh, that guy, whatever. People have these bad feelings. Mostly that comes from jealousy, right? Jealousy and hate. Instead, I look at them like, damn, why am I not doing that? Why didn't I figure that out? Or, how can I take what they're doing and use that in my business, right? And, one of the things that I learned from Dan Merrill and so many of my other mentors was speed of implementation, right? How quickly can I take something at an event like one that I'm going to here very soon? We'll talk about it. How can I take the 1, 2, 3 nuggets that I take from that event, go back to my company on Monday, implement it as quick as possible and start to see results? And that's how you really grow. All right.
Sorry about that, everybody. It was my fault. Well, at least it was my internet's fault. I don't know what happened,
Yeah,
man. But
that's okay, dude. I was on the other day and my computer shut down completely. So I was just talking about stepping outside of masterminds and having those conversations in the hall. Sometimes they're completely unexpected. And, it's those conversations that really, you get presented with an opportunity or you have the chance to collaborate. And it's really just completely life changing.
they are, and that's one of the main reasons I keep attending masterminds. You and I are in the family. Look, I'm wearing the family colors
Yeah, yeah,
today.
yeah.
And that mastermind itself, I can say we can probably speak on reason number two,
Hmm.
which is you will 10x your investment in a mastermind at a minimum.
Oh, absolutely. If you go there and you stay present, right? And you're having conversations with people, you're engaging, right? You're participating. Because I can tell you when I first started going to these events, because I'm very shy and introverted, I would just sit in the back corner and take some notes and not talk to people because I was scared. So I do think it's important to, put yourself out there and, kind of partake in everything that's happening.
But you know what, David? And I remember when you were very, I
Yes.
wouldn't say introverted, but you were
Yeah.
scared to speak in front of people,
Sure.
and you hired a coach for that. You
I
said, you know
did.
what,
Had a
I
couple of
gotta
them.
go and work on my skills,
Mhm.
but the first presentation I saw from you at the mastermind, you did amazing. Once you
Mhm.
got into, I'm an
The group.
investor and I'm gonna talk about what I know.
Right, right.
Right? It was just that fear of, oh man, let me see what do I think people are going to think of me when I start
Sure.
speaking or whatnot, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And look at today, you're a master of giving out information through multiple channels. You do it online, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You have spoken in how many stages now, right?
A lot, a bunch.
Right? All kinds of you've done at least 3 or 4 podcasts with me.
Yeah,
And I know we'll do at least 5 to 10 more, in
sure.
the next few years, right? So
Yeah, there's always good info to help people.
that all came from a mastermind
It did.
because
Yeah,
once you
absolutely.
saw that
Yeah,
everybody was doing something,
right.
you were like, wait a minute, all these guys are streaming, all these guys are on podcasts. How come I'm not doing that?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I had a partner back at the time who I think definitely wanted to be out there and, kind
Right.
of at the forefront and popular and all that and to be seen on Instagram. And that really wasn't my thing.
That's
Um,
what you thought.
Well, I don't crave it like some people do. Some people really love that attention. For me, I always looked at it, and we're kind of getting off track here a little bit, was just, how can I help people? What do I know that I've done that can help some people? Like, don't come to me to change your carburetor. I'm not that guy, but I have done, real estate. So um yeah,
But you will 10x your investment because and you you
100%.
you didn't 10x your investment at that particular mastermind. You
Mhm.
probably 1,000x it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got to come to your event. Yours was the first one where I spoke on stage. And yeah, I feel like I've done business with most of the people in that room in one way or another.
Right. So one mistake I was making at the beginning when I was attending masterminds was, or any events,
Mhm.
I was looking at them as an investment, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if I'm gonna pay, I'm just gonna say a number. I'm gonna pay $5,000 to go attend an event.
Mhm.
How do I get that money back as quick as possible?
Right.
Right. That was my mindset. And one day I got sort of like tired of going to masterminds or events and not necessarily getting my money back because
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm putting this money. So I was seeing it as an expense. I'm putting this money, but I'm not
Mhm.
getting anything in return. And then
Right.
one day I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and he attends like 6 masterminds a year, like different ones. Like he's on every one of them, and I'm looking at him, I was like, dude, you're putting like, if I do the math correctly, you're putting you're spending, is what I said, at least 200 grand a year on
Yeah.
masterminds.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And I said, okay, how do you get your money back? What's your agenda? And he looked at me and said, you see, Ricardo, that's what's wrong with you. I don't have an agenda. I go out to these masterminds to give as much as I can. And if somebody comes to me and gives me, or I see somebody presenting something that I can monetize on, then I receive it.
Hmm.
And that from that
Interesting.
day on, David, I changed my perspective. I said,
Mhm.
I'm gonna start going to masterminds, giving as much as I can. I'm not gonna be worrying so much about my ROI. I'm just gonna make sure that is the right place for me. That's it.
Okay. Interesting.
And when I changed that perspective, everything changed for me.
Really. Well, and definitely your business has changed a lot over the last couple of years from wholesaling to, all of the things that you're doing now.
Yep. So and it was thanks to masterminds being able to see other structures, other like your business, right? You and
Mhm.
I were on the same rat race
Yeah.
3 years ago when
Mhm.
you started, or actually 4 years ago,
4 years. Yeah.
2021.
Back before your event in Miami. That was where we
Right.
launched Easy REI. That's actually where we launched Easy REI closings to the
You
public.
you did launch easy area closings. You started getting, your first clients there, and you had other clients already that knew who you were. But the recurring model, right? As
Mhm.
opposed to, hey, let's chase this $50,000 assignment or the $20,000 assignment, which, by the way, they're good. I'm closing on one
Yeah.
of them this week, hopefully.
Mhm.
And I stepped away from real estate for a year. And you know what? You know who inspired me to do that, David?
Mm.
You.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I saw you do it,
Mhm. It
and
was hard.
it
Yeah.
is hard. And especially when you identified as a real estate investor, you're like,
Yeah.
how do I do this? Wait a minute, like I'm gonna go from being a real estate investor, which, by the way, you got a bunch of rentals. So even if you
Yeah.
didn't, you're still a real estate investor because of your
Yeah.
rentals, right?
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I don't have as many as you do, but I do have some.
Mhm.
But my identity said I am this wholesaler. I'm a real estate investor. And for me to think about, like, okay, if I switch models and I go build a VA company like the one we've built, I'm gonna go away from making 40, 50, $60,000 a month on assignments, maybe a
Yeah.
$100,000 a month on assignments, um, to build this one thing that brings thousands at a time, because you start little first,
Sure.
and it's when you start getting 30, 40, 50 clients, that's when you start seeing 20, 30, 50,000. But that doesn't mean you receive all the money for you. That's just revenue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but
Yeah. It takes time to build up and scale for sure.
I saw you do it.
Yeah.
And I said, man, David, you know what? David did it right because he went, and you hired a coach for that too. So I want to continue mentioning coaching.
Yeah.
You hired a guy that told you, hey man, this is the model you should implement. This is
Yeah.
what you should be
I
doing.
actually had a bunch of coaches tell me that because at the time we were wholesaling, we had started Easy REI closings, and we were coaching Easy, and we were wholesaling at the same time. And I had multiple people tell me you gotta cut something because you're just being far too distracted.
And that's exactly what I did. I saw you do it, and I
Hmm.
went and cut off my wholesaling business.
Yeah, which is hard
And
for me because I tell people my pronoun was wholesaler. That's really how I identified.
yeah, once you, and I had to create a new identity for that. I had to say, okay, I don't
Mhm.
identify as a real estate investor anymore. I am now in the sales and marketing business.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, reason number three to
Reason
attend the
number
mastermind:
3. Yeah, let's talk about that.
find your next mentor.
Mm, that's true.
Right? Find your next
Mhm,
mentor. So I found my mentor. He's still mentoring me today,
mhm.
Robert Allen,
Yeah,
at a mastermind. And I was not looking for a mentor,
yeah,
just so you know. But when I met him and he told me everything he had gone through and the story and how he switched from being a real estate investor into building multiple streams of income and becoming a bestseller, it caught
yeah,
my attention because I said, well, maybe I need to learn from this man how to diversify and how to tap into other things that are out there, right? So look at, like, you too. You have multiple mentors, David, throughout
yeah.
your life.
Mhm.
Most likely, you found those mentors, and I'm speaking of the David
Yeah,
of
100%.
today.
I went to a big event in, San Diego, found somebody that I was with for 2 years. Uh,
Who invited you to that event?
I think that probably was you, right?
That
Was
was
that
me.
you? Yeah, yeah, Scale and Escape with Kent Clothier, great
Yeah.
event. Yeah, you invited me to family where I found my next mentor. Yeah, dude, you've been very instrumental in our path here.
we have been for each other, right?
Yeah.
And that's what friends are all about, right? Like if I'm getting value at family, for instance,
Hmm.
and I know, man, if David joins family, I know he's gonna crush it here because he's gonna be able to do affiliate with a bunch of people.
Hmm.
He's gonna go and present and do all these multiple business deals.
Yeah.
So you know what? If you're looking for a mentor and you don't know where to find one,
Hmm.
join a mastermind. There's plenty of people there. You can network with them way before you even say, Mr. David, can you be my mentor?
Yeah, yeah. And the one of the amazing things that's probably not talked about enough is, well, you did actually, you talked about it at the beginning, is you're getting in the room and you're around people that are doing the same thing. And you just start to believe that if these people are doing it, I can do it. But then also they're there to help you on the days when you're struggling. Like, luckily for me, I've been through a couple of tough things in the last couple of years. And I had friends that I've made at these events, right? Because a lot of us will see each other at these different events. And people that, when I was going through a big change in my business, where I could lean on those guys, and called you and Charles and Nick and Corey and people like that and said, hey, I'm going through this, what should I do? And then same thing, I've been on the other side of that call too, when people are struggling, and have been able to offer some guidance. So it's really amazing. It's I've definitely found a tribe of just real friends that I can be in this business with.
And make money together, man. I mean,
Yeah,
at the end of the
sure.
day, money is like oxygen, right? We all need it to operate and to live a
Yeah,
better life.
right. And
And
that's okay. Like, nobody should ever be ashamed of making money, right? We have a big operation here, lots of payroll, big office. We need to make money to support all of these people and support their kids, and keep everybody running.
absolutely. So, for those three reasons, David, I go to masterminds all the time.
Nice. Awesome. I was going to give you a couple extra minutes there because we did have a little conundrum in the middle, but so, well, then let's do this. Let's spend a minute or two talking about, you have an event coming up. That wasn't actually why we brought you on here, but since we've got some time, let's talk about that. Tell everybody a little bit, like the name, where it's going to be, what the dates are.
Look, number one, David, I want to thank you because you've been a supporter of that event from day one.
Yep.
You've
I
been
think
to
I've
every
been
single. You might have missed one that I did in
I think I missed
Orlando.
one when I was going through some stuff when you were in
Yeah,
Orlando. I think that's the
and
only one
I
I missed.
remember that, and I was like, okay, he can't make it right now, no problems. He'll
Can't
he'll
get in the
make it
hall
on
club.
he'll
Yeah.
make it on the next one. So, but yeah, still the support is there, right? And so I want to thank you in front of your audience
Mm, sure.
about being a support of ours. So it's called the 10 Growth. This
Mhm.
is an event that was born out of that one mastermind where you and I met.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. You saw that, and created, and it's kind of grown and adjusted over time. But yeah, no, it's a
It's
fantastic event.
it has grown and adjusted. You're right, and again, I was trying to do too many of them in one year. Like I think I did two the same year, and then the following year I also did two, and I found myself doing them for the wrong reasons.
Hmm.
And then I started thinking, like, wait a minute, why did I start this mastermind for or this event? Because now it's an event, it's slash mastermind, but it's
Yeah.
more of an event. um and I sat down and kind of like wrote down the core values that I thought of when I started, and I
Hmm.
said I'm gonna pull back and I'm only gonna do this once a year.
Yeah.
So once a year
Well,
we bring guys like you, we bring other speakers from around the country. By the way, every single one of them is a sponsor. They buy the biggest ticket there is, which is being on stage.
yeah.
Okay, and then we sell tickets for people to come get the best of the best of what the presenters are talking about. They're not out there to pitch and to like sell you on the. Everybody at the end of the day is selling something, but the truth is they're out there to give you the best to see if that's a fit for you to do business with.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And, and then we sell tickets to get qualified audience. Like we want to make sure that the people that are in the room are worthy of you doing business with. And we create a setting and an environment where everybody's relaxed and cool, like nobody's judging. The people that love having a few drinks, they go out and do it. The people that want to go eat restaurants, they go out and do it. I
Yeah.
remember one of the events we did, you guys had like a, I don't know, like a $40,000 tab at some restaurant where they were sprinkling gold onto like sushi, and I was like,
Yeah,
wait
we
a
don't need to talk
minute.
about all that. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a there's definitely a great atmosphere. After hours, if you like that, where you can go out and hang out with some of the speakers and the VIPs, and just really get to know people. And it's always fun for me, yeah, to just to meet people from all over the country and see. A lot of times people will be like, "Hey, I've been watching your content forever." I'm like, "Oh, that's really cool. Thank you. I appreciate that."
And that's
But
right.
yeah, we
You
get
get
to meet and talk to people, and we learn from everybody.
and you get to build good relationships, like you said.
100%.
Off stage, when
Hmm.
you're at the bar having a couple of drinks, or when you're at the restaurant, during the dinner or the lunches or whatever, then you're sitting right next to the guy that you and the guy together may go and do a bunch of stuff together, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the main reasons I put this event together in the mastermind, and
Mhm.
we're only gonna do this once a year now.
Nice.
This is probably, I keep saying this, that the last one in Houston.
Mhm.
Maybe next year I'll do another one, but I'm
Mhm.
thinking about moving out of Houston, and that's why I may move it somewhere else.
I gotcha. Dallas. Go to Dallas. It's a much easier place to get to. Okay. So I know we said we told people 20 minutes, no more, no less. I think we've gone a minute or two over, but we're going to chop out the other stuff. What's the best way for people to find out more about this event? You have a website?
Attendgrowth.com. So make sure you go https
Okay.
forward slash www.attendgrowth.com. And
Cool.
we raise ticket prices every first of the month. So whatever ticket prices you see there right now, they're going to be until March 1st, or March
Mhm.
1st, we'll charge more. So
Cool. Well, guys, we'll drop that link here on the YouTube. We'll probably email this out to everybody too, one time. Make sure, because make sure that you are there. I will be there speaking. You've got a ton of. I've seen some of the speakers that you're popping in there. Cannot wait for this event. Like I said, it's always been amazing. It's even the things that have happened outside of the event, have grown my business. You guys will get the same thing. It's Ricardo always does a great job filling it up with absolute quality people. What about social media? What's the best way for people to follow you? And then we'll shut this down.
my IG, my friend Ricardo M. Rosales on YouTube, Ricardo Rosales. Find me on those two avenues, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have.
Nice. Ricardo, thank you, my man. I appreciate you coming on.
No, thank you so much, David. I appreciate you, brother.